Good morning, Haydar. Excuse me. And now the
Thank you
news.
for taking the time to come on the show. The
My
show's
pleasure.
about,
Thanks for inviting me on this multi award winning show.
well, just so you know, you're our first guest, which makes you quite special. Um, so that you should be honoured that you got asked to be the first. So
Thank you.
anyway,
Yes.
so I'd just like to introduce you. You obviously brilliant Cobanoglu, and I was going to take some notes and say when you started and how many franchisees you got, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time. So can you share with us when you started with us and how many franchisees you have at the moment?
I think it was probably March 2002.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been 18 years.
Long time.
So, yes, a while ago now. Currently we're on about 155 franchisees. So we pushed over the 150 barrier and hopefully going to go and get some more sales by the end of the year. So we're really pushing hard to get inquiries because, as you know, if you get the inquiries, there's a possibility or a chance to get the sale. So we're seeing what we can do.
That certainly makes sense, mate. Oh, thanks for that. Well, what were you doing before you came to gyms?
There's a joke going around that I was working in the canteen for Apple, but I was actually in sales in Apple, and I was actually doing quite well. But I wanted to do sales. I wanted to do sales for myself. I could see that the company that I was working for, no matter how hard you worked, there was very little coming back because obviously they take a percentage of it, a massive percentage. So
Yeah.
when I went into the manager's office and said, look, I'm leaving, I'm going to run a cleaning business, they kind of looked at me really
Yeah.
silly and said, well, you're leaving Apple to go and run a cleaning. And I said, look, it's franchising, it's new. I don't know much about it at the moment,
Yep.
but it's exciting and stuff like that. So they're a really good family. They looked after me. I lived in Coburg, and I was catching two trains
Yeah.
to Malvern every morning, and it's a lot of time to be in traffic or on the road to go to a
Yeah.
9 to 5 job. So yeah,
So while you were at Apple, that was an Apple reselling store, was it? I
correct,
presume,
correct, yeah, and
like a
that's when
franchise.
I'm not sure if they're a franchiser, but I think they were similar to like an agency. They would buy bulk from their head office, and they would pay back some
Right.
money to them, and they'd pay back similar to advertising fees and all that. It was when the
I
iMacs first
understand.
came out, the colourful iMacs. I'm not sure if you
Wow.
remember that. It was a while ago
Yeah,
now, but
I
yeah.
do. Well, just on that note, so when you were employed there, did they put you through a training program or ongoing training, or
No,
were
not
you
at all.
just naturally?
No. Well, I actually just got back from overseas, and I was playing indoor cricket one night. Indoor cricket was very popular back then when we were growing up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the guys was actually working in the Richmond store, and he was like the manager, and we just got to be friends.
Mm,
And he said,
mm,
"What are you doing for work?" I said, "I'm looking for work." And he says, "What qualifications do you have?" And in Turkey, I went back and did programming, so I had a certificate, but that's got nothing to do with sales, obviously. And it was very hard to get into a job. And he said, I'll ask around to see if I can get you a job somewhere. Are you good at sales? And I
mm.
learned sales in Turkey. And learning sales in a country where inflation is high, you're dealing with currencies, it's probably one of the hardest
Yeah,
things to do because you can, with
right.
inflation, you got to put it back in its spot, which means you got to sell it for so much more. So I said, look, I know a little bit, but I don't know about the products. And to this day, I still don't know about the products. I just sold the box basically, and I was good at selling the box. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. I left just before the GST was brought on. I think was it about 2000 or something like that when that happened. So about that time, yeah.
Was it? Okay. So so when you were in Turkey, you were doing sales, but you were doing sales for your family business, which was
Yeah, we were selling
sugar and
sugar, oil, tea in wholesale,
yeah.
and we were one of 50 stores in a long street. So everybody's selling the same product, and people are just
Mm,
going door to door to see what sort of bargain they can get. And it's about convincing them to get it off you. So you got to have some sort
But
of
how did you learn those skills? Like, were you doing online courses, or did you have
no,
a mentor, or
no, there was no online back then. I think I
no.
think the only thing I remember of the internet was the chat rooms called Merch and other stuff that was around. I think I'm going back a long time. So no, there was nothing to do with the internet. We just had a software program on a desktop. Internet was
Right?
still just coming out. No, nothing to do with it.
All right. So you were self-taught then in Turkey. You've come to Australia. You're working for Apple, selling computers. And so what you're saying is they didn't train you on the job. Again, you had to learn yourself,
No,
or
you just had to side by side with someone and learn the ropes, learn how to put all the invoices in, all the purchase orders, look up what the
yeah.
stocks are. We had to learn stuff about flexi rent, where people would buy it on lease, and that's still, I'm not sure if that company's still around. So there was a
But
whole lot of different ways of doing it.
but how did you learn how to close the deal? Because in sales, Bill, as you'd agree, closing the deal is the most important part. I mean, you
Yeah,
can chat
yeah,
to a customer, but you have to close the deal.
yeah.
How did you learn that?
I think chatting the customer for too long actually, and I see this with franchise sales. If you have an inquiry and you're with them for too long, you kind of bore them.
Mm,
You got to give them all the
yes.
excitement about what it is, and that's what we try to do with the products. Is why is the iMac exciting? Apart from the orange color, what does it do? What
Mm,
does it do that a normal desktop doesn't do, or vice versa and so forth like that? The software packages. And
good.
Apple's customers are different. They're a different type of breed.
Mm.
So you kind of, and they're already looking for a product to buy anyway. So it's about closing the
Yeah.
deal. Yeah. So you've got to try to convince them that's the product for them.
Well, it sounds like you're a natural in this. You kind of trained yourself
Uh,
and worked it out.
Training yourself, I think there's always things that you can learn. There's always things that you need to know you've got to get better at. But if you've got a little bit
Yeah,
of a knack for it, you can actually improve that. And it's communication.
good.
Everything is communication. That person's buying it off you. They don't know the product. They want to invest in you. So I think you got to come across being a bit
Yeah.
friendly and so forth like that as well.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. One of the biggest things in selling is rapport. First thing is you build rapport, and then once you've
Definitely,
achieved that, the
definitely,
rest is easy.
definitely. Never
So
have a bad word to say about anyone. Just be nice to people, and they'll eventually come back.
makes a lot of sense. Good advice. All right, so you're at Apple. So what made you join gyms, and how did you get here?
Yeah, well, I worked in the bank with you many years ago. I've still got the scars for that one. And then we went our separate ways. I went overseas, obviously, to do my national service and stay there for a number of years. I came back and I
Got
remember
married.
crossing, yes, got married. Um, and in fact, it's today, it's 22 years today, which is ironic that we're having this,
Wow,
yes, 22 years.
congratulations.
So it's, yes, time flies. So
And you're at work.
I'm at work too, yes. Um, So I got back and I think I was going to Apple work and I remember crossing Bell Street, which is one of the main roads of Coburg area. And I remember you
Yeah,
nearly running me over. Um, so bonking the horn really loud and I stopped. We
yeah.
had a brief chat because I had to rush off. We swapped numbers and then we caught up, I think, sometime later. We did a
Yeah.
little bit of cleaning together and then you said, look, I'm going to get into gyms. And I think I said something along the lines of, why would you pay money to be a cleaner? It didn't make sense. And obviously, not knowing what franchising was, but yeah,
Yeah.
you convinced me to join, and we haven't
Yeah.
looked back. It's been one hell of a ride. It's been amazing. So, been really good.
Good. I actually remember all those conversations, to be honest, because I was very, concerned or confused myself. And having you there at the time, I think it actually made me feel better. And if you
Yeah,
remember, you actually took over my run that I was running
correct,
before
correct.
gyms, which gave me enough time to develop the gym stuff. So I
Correct. So I
remember
bought
those
a
days very
resale
well.
basically, didn't I? So I joined up buying a
Yes,
resale, which kick-started my business. And from that resale, I think
yes.
I did two or three splits with it with some more extra work. So I got a little bit of a
Well,
good run into the business.
you're very welcome.
So thank you. I say thank you enough. It's all right.
No, that's okay, mate. That's fine. All right, so you've joined gyms. Question, has it lived up to your expectations?
Oh, way more, way more. As you can see, all of us here at the office see each other every day of the week, and sometimes even on a Saturday or a Sunday. And it's the
Yeah,
excitement of what we've got and what we can do with it and where we can take this is the best thing. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's actually not a job. When you come to work, enjoying what you do and seeing the actual results. And obviously, the
yeah,
people that you work with makes a big difference as well. We all get along. We all sit down for lunch. We have a lot of barbecues together. And then franchisees
yeah.
drop in from time to time as well. It makes this rewarding. And the rewarding thing is
Mm.
seeing franchisees excel and grow and make money for their families as well. Because we are dealing with a lot of the immigrants, so broken language, probably first-time cleaners and so forth. So that's the benefit of this. That's the beauty of it, watching them become winners as well.
True. I agree with a few things you said there. Coming to work for us is actually very exciting. And I'd like to thank you for that. I mean, you are actually one of the goofs or the gophers in the office, which, I'm not saying that in a bad way. You actually make it very enjoyable. And
Yeah,
in
you
fact, when I'm away from the office, I actually want to be here because I want to spend time with you.
muck around. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have a really good laugh. It's enjoyable, isn't it?
Mm,
Like it takes the pressure off what we do because there is a lot of pressure in what we do. We're looking after so many franchisees. We've got to make sure they're making
yeah,
money. And we do come across
yeah,
some hard jobs with it. With obviously dealing with complaints and trying to fix them up.
yeah.
And trying to make sure they're making money. So the release is having a bit of a laugh, playing table tennis downstairs. There's always something to laugh
Table
about
tennis.
in the office.
All right, just on the note of table tennis, obviously we play regularly, pretty much 3 times a day. So in a given week, 5-day week, if you play, 3 times a day times five, that's 15. Out of 15 games, how many games do you think you might win?
I'd probably be lucky to win two, and that's my own fault. It's my own fault, only because
Oh,
I play table tennis, but I play tennis shots, which means I do the
mm.
scoop, the slice, the smash from the back court, and it's not table tennis sport. Like anyone else would look at me and go, "He's on something," but mine's there just for fun more than anything. I
Of
allow you
course.
to win most games.
So, anyway, it's just so fun. And I know we just muck around, which is great. And I appreciate that. That's great.
True.
Okay, so moving right along, what would you think would be your greatest strength? Serious
Probably
question.
just getting along. Yeah, just having a laugh, knowing the
Mhm.
product. I mean, after years of actually being involved in the business and doing and starting from the bottom up, so knowing
Yeah,
what the cleans are out there. So when someone's talking about cleaning, we kind of know the products that we use, generally how long it should take, what sort of price to quote. Um,
yeah,
and just getting along with people. I just think you got to listen to people's needs. It's not always about us talking. It's about listening to what their needs are. Some do struggle, and we need to find out why they struggle and try to find a way to get them through it. Because once they find that niche market of what they're good at, because a lot of them like to do specific services only, um,
mm,
in helping them get to that and making their money. Um, a lot of
yeah.
the people that we deal with are sole breadwinners of the house, so we've got to make sure that they're doing well. That provides for their family.
True, I agree with what you're saying. If I was to answer that question on your behalf, what is your greatest strength? You know what I'd say, Bill? I would say that is, well, in my view anyway, um, you actually amazingly good at following the system
Yep.
and not, trying to create your own little system within our system. That's
Yeah.
what I think is the biggest strength. Like when
I
we
think.
say to you, hey, at the moment the tops are now going to be blue. You don't ask questions. You start wearing blue tops.
Yep.
And then you support it. And in fact, you
Yep.
buy some and you gift some to people, and you just follow that system where you don't sit there and try and challenge it and say, hey, I don't think blue's good. Why don't we go to dark blue or something like that? I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
seen you
That
do anything like
that's wasting too much energy. You know what I mean?
that. Well,
Trying to come across
it's
something that the
yeah,
the head office has come up with The head office has put a
Yes.
lot of thought and detail into this. So there is no,
Yeah.
it's silly to challenge it because I would rather use that time to try to get more sales into the business. So just go along with it because we see with people that challenge and are negative and so forth, it drains them out, it slows them down, and it takes
Yeah.
them away from what they actually should be doing, and that is sales. If you're a franchisor, you should be talking about sales. I speak to a few franchisors that a lot of them talk about, I'm not sure about selling, it's have we got enough work? But having vans on the road with logos creates work, and we've seen this. We've seen that with my regions because a lot of the regions I took over had a couple franchisees, and it's
Yeah.
been a climb to get to 15, 20 in that region. But
Yeah.
now the leads are
Yeah.
great, the inquiries are even better. So if you stick with
Well,
what you want to do and let head office decide what's best for us, because you guys put
you're
a lot of
100%
thought into
right.
that.
Yeah, you're right. Like, the equipment packs and things like that, we spend a lot of time and energy putting all that together and a lot of testing. And it's just comforting that when we do that, you actually embrace it and then you don't even
Just take
waste
it, run with it.
time.
Yeah.
I think that's certainly that's one of your biggest strengths. So
Okay.
good on doing that. I was going to ask you this question, and I think I know the answer. What's out of a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how much do you enjoy your business and why?
10. Yeah. I'm not sure where I would have been. It's been 18 years. Like if you said what would you do if it wasn't for gyms, I'm not sure what I'd be. I'd probably be doing something to do with sales, but because this has
Mm,
looked after me and my family for so long, and now I'm in actually a comfortable position. I've got
yeah.
staff working for me. I've got a good setup with Adelaide, with Shane helping out there and so forth. Make regular trips to Adelaide and Geelong. That I'm not sure that anything else would be this comfortable now. Has it been a climb to get here? Of course it has. I mean,
Mm,
there's no overnight success.
true.
It's years of hard work.
Yeah, well,
But
I just love your recipe. You enjoy it so much. You're so successful. You do a great job. Your support is phenomenal. I think you're one of the highest supporting franchisors, which is awesome. And your team is great.
yeah, definitely,
Sharon,
definitely,
Kathy, and so on. No, you do a very good job there, mate. Well done. Okay, tell us about a good Jim's memory. A conference, a Christmas party, or a job, or something that's been awesome over the 18 years that you've been here.
I think. Look, I at the start wasn't going to many of the conferences. I just
Hmm.
I think I was away for most of them because it comes around winter time, and generally that's summer in Europe, so we kind of take off overseas. But
Yes.
I did go to one, and it was really an eye opener. The fact
Hmm.
that we do a lot of networking with other divisions, and you kind of meet the person that you're talking on the phone to. So you know the face of the person that you deal with. Our
Yeah.
our business is so unique that at a moment's notice, I can get a service from another division with a pickup of a phone call. I don't know of any other organisation can do this. Like I needed a pest control service from another franchisee when my other one fell ill, and within a
Yeah.
18-hour notice. So I rang 6 p.m. and the job had to be done, basically 9 o'clock the next morning, and I got another guy to help out. Now I'm not sure if anybody can get a contractor that quickly. And the guy was happy to go with the price of the previous franchisee.
Yeah.
The reason why I needed it at 9 o'clock is because I had organised the cleaner and the carpet cleaner to come the following day. So that's something that I'm amazed of how good this set up. And Jim's done an amazing job with bringing other divisions
Yeah.
to help each other. And everyone seems to drop what they want to do to help the other franchisee from another division. We don't know these people; we know them by name. But
Yeah.
that's the best thing about this business is the fact that we can call somebody to help out.
Good answer. Good one. All right. So, what do you do for fun? What's your hobbies?
Um, well, kids are growing up now. I used to coach my son's footy team, and that didn't end well. We lost the grand
That's right.
final, and
You got,
and then
you got the
and that
sign
was,
footy and the
yeah.
women's.
You came to that grand final I think a few years ago. We were favourites to win it, and we lost. So that kind of took the spark. I just the footy's probably number one with me, And here, the guys at the office, we're all basically break for a different team. So there's always a bit
Yeah.
of banter. There's a lot of text messages going around during the game. We have a bit of a laugh with that,
What are
which I go
the
back to
WhatsApp group?
the WhatsApp area. So I go back to the people that we work with. Now, I'm not sure if
Mm,
that's, with a lot of other people that work with other organisations, but we have a lot of laugh and a bit of banter and to talk about the footy. And then we
yeah.
move on to something else, during the other seasons as well.
But you said you're a very keen fisherman from memory. Didn't,
I'm the only
didn't you go
fisherman
up?
that hasn't caught a fish. I took, yes, I'm going to tell you the story. I know you're waiting. We had in-laws come over from overseas, and my father-in-law's a good fisherman, and he was trying to teach me how to fish. And I don't have the patience. Fishing is a patient man's game, and I don't have patience. In fact, when my son, when he was growing up, I would take him down to the Geelong Pier, and I would get his hooks ready, and then go back into the car while he would wait out there and read the paper or something like that. So I don't have the patience for it. And I remember we went to this pond where the fish can't basically get away, and I think someone was standing a meter to my side, and I think they caught like 8 or 10, and I didn't catch any. So I have no luck, and I think the fish know this. That's why they don't get onto my hook. But I don't have the patience. I don't enjoy it at all. I go for to be around people, but no, it's
Yeah.
not for me.
The best part is the fish and chips at lunchtime, is it?
Fish and chips, yes, it's true.
Nice. Good one. Okay. All right. Back to a serious question. Why should I buy a franchise from your region or regions in your case?
Yeah, I think one is you are in my region, which means that probably
Right.
answers it. I
Good.
think the best thing is when franchisees inquire, they don't know why they're inquiring. They're just thinking of getting into a business, and we have to tell
Yeah.
them the benefit of working as close to home as possible and doing
Yeah.
local marketing for them. And I think the setup that I've got with the staff, Sharon and Kathy, who'll always return phone calls, help you with emails, set you up. If you've got a tender to do or documentation, we've got that all ready. Our proactive calls, although we've got large numbers, don't exceed 14 days. The newer
Yeah.
ones, we kind of call them every third day just to make sure they're going okay. If they need help, we're only a phone call away. The fact that I've got people that help on the road as well,
Mhm.
trainees that can be a bit of like a buddy at the start. Um,
Yeah.
so it's not basically just directly from me, but my team that's available hands on to help
Yeah.
franchisees get going really quickly so they start earning some serious money.
That makes a lot of sense. You actually surprised me, Bill. Sorry, you're going to have to help me out here. Uh, your income, it's 7 figures plus. Is that how it works? Seven figures
I
is
don't know.
the,
I just pay the bills. Yes, it
oh,
probably
yeah.
is. Yep. Yeah.
Well, 7 figures multiplied, well, I won't get to the number, but it's a very big number.
Yep.
But you're still out there sort of doing some cleaning work every now and then. Do
Yeah,
you?
I've got a couple of commercial contracts that I've had with the city of Melbourne forever. I seem to, and I use mine as an example. If you look after the customer, if you go to the customer to clean, so
Yeah.
cleaning's your number one priority, not the money that you're going to make from it. That customer will stick by you forever, for as long as they
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. I understand it, but how do you find the energy to go and do that?
Um, Sometimes you need a break from the office, and generally, when I do go, it's on weekends. And I go
Yeah.
there to actually to check on if the cleaner's doing a good job. And then I might
Right.
grab the bucket and just walk around and tidy up a little bit and let them know just where they could be a little bit better. So I'm actually training myself uh, to make sure that I check up on cleaners, because then that teaches me to be a good
Yeah.
trainer for the next person coming on board. But it's mainly just to break the day up a little bit, and it's not often at all. So I might drop into the car park at the Royal Melbourne Hospital, just do a walk around, check with management there. And I think if managers see the owner of the business, they actually think, well, they do care about this place. Whereas if you just leave it to staff and only deal with them over the phone, you're kind of
Mm.
losing that connection with them as well.
Well, it's just very impressive. Someone at your level can still find the energy to go and do that. Good on you, man. Well done. In fact, I still do the same thing. And in fact, didn't I come and we did the car park together one
Yes,
year?
yes, you did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's good. We haven't used those sort of machines for a very long time. We did it at the very beginning when we first started, but as our
Yeah,
business grew and we became more, office workers working from an office, that you kind of
yeah,
lose the connection. So going out there and doing a night out it's actually good. It's actually part of sport. You break up into a little bit of sweat. You see the good work that you're doing. It makes
yeah.
you feel good too.
Awesome. All right. Well, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years in work-wise, that is?
Um, Look, I don't know. I just think we haven't
Mm,
set ourselves a limit. I think limits, if you set yourself a limit, you work towards that limit and that's it. So the staff, when we talk on a regular basis between Kathy, myself, Sharon, and sometimes my son Burko drops in when he's got some time off from uni. He's part of
yeah,
this as well. He makes some calls to the franchisees as well, and he's getting to know how this business works. We
yeah,
don't know. There's no answer.
mm,
There's no ceiling with it. Let's just keep going. Um, if we keep the excitement going with the business, numbers are just numbers. I think we just got to keep improving. I dare say that I will need another person in the office to help out because we want to make sure number one priority is our franchisees. We're making contact with our franchisees on a regular basis. We don't want to lose that connectivity because
yeah,
I know that if we look after them really well, they will be our salespeople, and if I've got
yeah,
150 salespeople out on the road, um, it makes
yeah.
my sales so much easier. Like I should be getting multiple sales each time. So to look after them is our number one priority, and I think sales will come from that.
100%. Hey, some very good advice in there. Well done. Well, that's it from me. Thank you very much for being our first guest. Obviously, I'm
Thank
very
you.
nervous, so you
Thank you.
make me quite comfortable. Hopefully, you enjoyed yourself, and we can do this again because I think our franchisors and franchisees really need to listen and learn from people like yourself with so much experience and passion for what you do. And a
Yep.
credit to you, Bill. You're a big asset to our business, and I really respect and I'm very happy that you're with us. So thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. No, thank you. I think I'm lucky and
Mm,
blessed in a way that I fell into
mm,
this business or got dragged into it by you years ago, and
yeah.
it's worked out really well.
Mm,
So yeah, so keep working together as a team, and I'm sure
yeah.
that we'll crack the 1,000 very quickly, and then hopefully go past mowing. Maybe give them windburn or something with the numbers. I'm not sure if Jim would like to hear that, but that's the way we're looking.
Well, that's the game, mate. Bigger than mowing. That's the game.
True, true.
Anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the table tennis table.